Good morning, Stingtown faithful owners, team owners, and valued friends and valued members of the league. It's come to my attention that there was some controversy yesterday over a newly appointed law or rule punishing or putting consequences for the last place finisher in the Stingtown Faithful League effective immediately. So I have put together a statement and I have drafted it, and I will now read it word for word. Thank you for your feedback, Biggs. We will not, emphasis on not, be raising the entry fee for the league. I think this will go down as a great day in the history of Stingtown Faithful. It's the day we'll tell our grandkids that the bar was raised forever in Stinktown. On August 4th, 2014, just 2 days after this year's draft, I sent an email to my board of directors. That's right, Stingtown Faithful has a board of directors. Those of you that are on the board know who you are. And I feel that the email contained a large amount of how I feel about this league and its direction, and it's important that I share that with you all. Here is a portion of that email. I'm sitting here this morning sipping coffee, looking at everyone's teams and their report cards, and I thought about the weekend and wondered to myself, when did it become cool and the norm to come completely unprepared for a fantasy football draft? I mean, we knew about this date months ago, and we were reminded about the date and the weekend constantly leading up to the date. How have guys not opened their account since they set it up? How have they not looked over rankings prior at least once leading up to the draft? Why should the guys that prepare, probably just Chad and myself at the draft, feel like nerds for actually studying and preparing prior to the draft? Not studying and being completely unprepared has become a source of pride for guys. It should be the other way around. If you are unprepared and haven't studied, you should be ostracized. You should be embarrassed. I had my player rankings and tiers printed off and ready to go prior to the draft, and I almost left them in my office for the draft intentionally because I thought I might look like a nerd for actually spending some time beforehand to get ready. The last thing I want to do is micromanage this thing. Not one of us can make a guy sit down a week before the draft and spend 30 to 60 minutes looking at player rankings, thinking about a draft strategy, looking at some rookies, and seeing which guys change teams. It may just have to work itself out over the years. If you don't study or prepare, you're going to finish in the bottom half of the league every year, bottom line. I do think one way we can make it more interesting is raising the buy-in. I don't know how much $40 hurts a guy to write a check for 6 months of entertainment. But if you're getting into the $75 to $100 range, you have to think twice before writing that check. That was an email from me to my board of directors sent on August 4th, 2 days after the draft. I will continue my statement. I love having a fantasy football league involving all of my college friends. It's great because we get to do this. It gives us a common denominator that allows us to stay in touch and stay in communication. I've been in grab-ass leagues before, and I'm in grab-ass fantasy football leagues right now. By grab-ass, I mean leagues where every year half the guys don't check their teams, don't update their roster, and frankly, those same guys don't give a crap whether they win or lose. And every year, those same guys are invited back, and it's like Groundhog Day all over with them. Maybe, just maybe, that's how you view Stingtown Faithful. But I guess I don't. I'd like to see this league be a serious league that is taken seriously. The fact that Chad and I were the only ones that had done any homework or studying prior to the draft tells me that the culture is not the culture of a serious league right now. Like I said in my email on August 4th, I can't micromanage this thing. I can't make anyone study before a draft or read/skim the endless amounts of fantasy football material that's published during the season. But I can help create and implement a culture where that comes natural. If you don't have the fear of finishing in last place, if you don't study or don't take it serious, the fear of finishing in last place will drive that action. So right now, a guy finishes in last place and he says, oh well, I'm out $40, or basically one dinner out with my wife, maybe next year. However, the flip side is, hell no am I going to finish in last place and have to run a half mile through Tony's neighborhood and only spandex shorts the morning of the draft. That's what quality fantasy football leagues do, and it's the culture they have. We're halfway through the preseason, and there's so much football to be played. The story of the 2014-15 season is not even out of Chapter 1. Right now, there are a ton of studs available on the waiver wire that can be picked up right now. There are a ton of articles and data and projections. I know how some of you guys love projections, but they're available now that can make your team better tonight. Regarding Biggs' claim of terrible leadership, I take offense. Terrible leadership looks like this. Hypothetically, let's say I have a good-looking team. The commissioner has a good-looking team right now, or was projected to finish good this year. All the while, I embarrassingly finished in last place last year and had a disaster of a season, and then I implemented it this year with no repercussions on me for finishing in last place last year like I did. That's not what we're doing. I have to do something embarrassing now for last year. That's guaranteed. No one is guaranteed to finish in last place this year. What do I have to do? I don't know. That's for the league to decide. It's for the league to collectively bargain. So let's go to the bargaining table. Thank you. I hope this was clear and informative. Please direct any questions or any complaints to my Assistant Commissioner, Chad Hare. Thank you and have a great day.